handful of states are letting recently fired federal employees know they are open for business. Maryland, New Mexico, and Hawaii among those launching recruiting efforts as the Trump administration and Elon Musk's DOGE slash jobs at the federal level. New York, also one of the states jumping on the hiring train, with Governor Kathy Hochul releasing this video.
The federal government might say you're fired, but here in New York, we say you're hired. In fact, we love federal workers. Whatever your skills, we value public service.
All right, well, NewsNation's Caitlin Becker is live for us there in New York City. So, Caitlin, what do New York efforts to attract these fired federal workers look like right now?
Well, Nichole, New York wants you. That is the message that commuters in D.C. were greeted with this morning when they headed into Union Station to head to work that day. It's part of a new push and an ad campaign from Governor Kathy Hochul to recruit these recently laid off federal employees. I want you to take a look at the ad here. There it is. It's, of course, echoing that famous 1917 poster of Uncle Sam. That one was used to recruit soldiers during World War I. Hochul's version, a little different, taking a jab at the current administration, repurposing President Trump's famous "you're fired" catchphrase, and directly calling out Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. Now, in a statement obtained by thehill.com, Hochul did not hold back about her feelings toward President Trump's allies, saying, quote, "Elon Musk and his clueless cadre of career killers know nothing about how government works, who it serves, and the tireless federal employees who keep it running." Now, Governor Hochul went on to say that New York doesn't vilify public servants, but instead values them, encouraging these workers to check out opportunities within the state. And at a press conference right here in Manhattan just this morning, Hochul made sure to address some of the concerns that these hirings could cause budgetary bloat. That's the very thing DOGE claims to be trying to fix.
It's already budgeted. These positions have been in our budget, already accounted for with the current dollars that we have to fund them. So that these are not new positions, they're vacant positions. That's the difference.
Now, the website for New York Jobs currently has more than 2,000 current jobs listed. The ad directs people to another webpage that says there's more than 7,000. And Nichole, already this morning, I've been keeping a tally. 40 jobs have been added since I started looking this morning. And they cover a wide range of skills, from a registered nurse to someone who can operate a motor vehicle for the Department of Mental Health.
So, Caitlin, how are other states responding to these DOGE job cuts?
Well, as you can kind of guess, they're responding based on party lines. Democratic governors are more in line with releasing programs just like Governor Kathy Hochul, whereas Republican governors are sticking more with the Trump administration and DOGE, kind of encouraging these cuts. On Friday, Maryland's governor released information about a similar program to the Hochul one. We're seeing that in other states as well. Maryland Governor Wes Moore announced those plans, and also saying that these were arbitrary, draconian cuts and layoffs. We saw something similar in Hawaii. Governor Josh Green signed an executive order to expedite the hiring process for state roles. And on the other side of the coin, though, in Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis praised the work DOGE is doing, announcing plans to implement his own version of DOGE at a state level. The most interesting one I've seen so far, though, Nichole, is Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin, who's kind of trying to play both offense and defense. In one hand, outwardly saying that he's very much supportive of DOGE and of these cuts, but on the other hand, also creating a program to have jobs at that, that state level in the state. So kind of trying to toe both lines there.
All right. So Caitlin Becker live for us there in New York City. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.